Hey everybody, welcome back to Das Lab. Today, something a little different. My telescope. This is the OTA, the optical tube assembly off of a Mead ETX125 telescope. Now, this was a robotic electronic telescope that used to sit in a mount that would go up and down, left and right, and you'd set it up and you could track the stars and track your planets and all that stuff with it. I got this given to me by a really good friend of mine who destroyed the mount in it for a good reason. I don't want to go into the whole thing about what's wrong with the MEADEs. That's not what this is about. But he had a paper due for the Royal Astronomical Society, so he went out and bought a whole new set. And then he had this sitting there with the drive mechanism that was all mangled. Those are opportunities for videos on that are long gone. And I never did get it working great. So the thing is, do I buy a new telescope? Well, all the media and all the data says that this optical part of this Mead was fantastic. The drive mechanism is a nightmare. And a lot of people said, you know, why don't you just take this tube and put it on another robotic drive mechanism, of which there's no shortage of them out there. Okay, so I have done what they call deforking this. So there were two forks on here that slid over and held this up, and it could do the driving. And I'm not even going to get those parts out to put it back on to show you how to defork it. There's a couple Allen screws on either side, and basically it snaps in here and snaps in there, and basically this comes out really easy. So if you're thinking of upgrading your Mead ETX 125, it's pretty easy to get these OTA out. And this is delicate, okay? There's a lot of mirrors and optics in there that we don't want to jostle around. So we're going to try to keep this in good shape. The goal is to mount this onto this device. This is the brand new computer controlled drive mechanism that will do the up, down, left, right, and whatnot, and when we set it up all up with its brains. And these have a pretty good reputation. I've got about $500 into this. I have a video about me making modifying this mount so that I could put my camera adapter on there. But really what we're looking at today is this end. How do I get this OTA, optical tube assembly, mounted onto this drive? And that's where this comes into play. It's called a dovetail, and it's so named because of the shape of the tail over here. And this mount is designed to take dovetails, and if I can get this to bolt on to there somehow, I can have this will swing up and down. Now there's counterweights and all that stuff that could come off of here. We're not going to really worry about that too much today. The goal is that's how that goes in there. It just basically goes in with a screw, and it's pretty solid once it's in there. How do I mount this onto there? So that's the big question. Oh, look, conveniently there's some screw holes in there. Well, that looks like it lines up. And I found these bolts in my stash. But I'll tell you right now that this screw, this bolt, will go in to here. Whoop. But the other one does not line up. So let's find that. Yeah, so I can get the one in, but this other hole here, it's off by, I don't know, a 1/16 of an inch, a half a millimeter. This hole is too close to this one, so that is not going to work. Then I got another question: is where is the balance point? I mean, this is a little heavier on this side. So where is this going to balance out? So if I take something like this, where is the balance point? Okay, so it's right about here. So my dovetail has to go, yeah, at least this way. So what I'm probably going to end up doing is something like this. Boink. I'm probably going to I'm going to have it like that. Like that. Probably going to use that hole there. And I'm going to drill another hole in here. And I'm not going to bother tapping it. I think if I have one tapped, that would be pretty sufficient. So that's the plan, is to drill a hole in here, and then now I don't have to worry about those being proud of it because it's not going to slide down past here. Anyways, the dovetail. The dovetail will rest right in around here somewhere. Okay, so I'm going to set up for doing something like that. Okay, so I'm just looking at it a bit more. Now, the balance point is right about there. That's with nothing on it. Okay, so it's pretty close to balance. Now, that dovetail is going to be more than fully engaged about there. Now, things I have to consider is, first of all, I do have a cover on this side that comes off. That weighs a little bit. But I don't have any optics back here. I don't have any lenses or anything else hanging off here. I'm not going to be hanging a camera off this. The camera goes off of the mount. I might have a CCD on here, so I will have a little bit of weight on this end. So for balancing, that seems like it might be in a pretty good spot. And one of the things that I noticed about the screw holes here is that this guy is in the center and this one is closer to that end. So I think I can get by just enlarging that hole a bit. And I think I'll have enough meat over here to hang on. Now I don't need this sticking past the end, but I'm just trying to minimize the number of holes that I'm drilling in here. This piece of aluminum was, delivered was about $50. So, I don't think I'm going to have to do anything else with it, so I don't think I'm going to be wrecking anything by drilling holes in there. Of course, I'll drill it and then come later I'll realize, oh, I needed that for so-and-so. But that's basically looks like what the problem is. So I've got to just open up that hole a little bit. So I'll get set up to do that. Okay, so let's give this a try. I did have another bolt here. Got a little bit more. That's not going to be enough. Bigger, better, faster, stronger. All that stuff. I bet you that's enough. I bet you that's enough. Let's see. No burrs to speak of. Other than the fact that it's cold as hell in here. That's the thing with astronomy. In the summer, when it's warm out, ooh, it's yeah, you can see how that's going on an angle. I think we got to go a bit bigger. I'm not going to start drilling oval holes or anything like that. Yeah, we got to go quite a bit bigger. When it's warm out, you got to stay up so late to be able to see something, and then you got the bugs to deal with. And in the winter, it's nice and, you know, gets dark early. But it's freezing out. Never happy, I guess. All right. How big do we want to go? Try that one. How dull is that? Well, that's funny. What are we gonna reverse? It's only aluminum, so what do I expect? What the? I actually have to check to make sure I'm not going in reverse here. Okay. All right. What a difference a sharp bit makes. Woo. All right. Maybe this time. So you can see too. Oh, that's a nasty burr. I'll have to deburr that. Yeah, that's gonna fit now. Barely. Wow. Is that ever off? I don't know if you can see that in there. I didn't realize it was that far off. Wow, that's far. So my hole, didn't seem to realize that. I guess I never had it I don't even know how I'm getting those in. Oh, because it's on a... That's how. It's all discombobulated. Okay, so what's the plan here? Keep going, bigger hole. I'm going to lose the integrity of that bar. What I should have done, like I planned in the first place, was put this one out here in that hole and drilled a new hole, and then I got lots of room for my dovetail. There's not a lot of torque on this. I mean, when I get that on there with 2 bolts, I mean, I don't know if I need this threaded hole here and a... Yeah, that was further off than I ever thought. How far apart are those? .33 millimeters, or 1.273 inches ish. Yeesh. So that would be a pretty big hole I'd have to drill there. So I could go back. I could go this way and drill my hole there. Would that do it for me? And when will I do that? Okay, let me do some math and I'll lay this out. Oh, I forgot to turn that on. Okay, so I just marked it out and I drilled my first little pilot hole. And we'll drill the rest here. Let's try that. Alright, what was the deal here? So that's going to go there. That's going to go in there. Probably put a lock washer on there or something. I'm too far that way. I'm too far this way. How did I do that? I measured twice. Look at that. Craziness. What's going on with this guy too? All of a sudden. Unbelievable. Just one of those days. Yeah, my hole is too far that way and the bolt wants to go in that way. But at least it's not by too much. So I guess I can make that hole bigger yet. I'll be back. Okay, so it's on and I'm pretty balanced. This way, obviously this way I need some weight over on the right hand side. It's pretty balanced and no matter where I put it, and I've still got a little bit of dovetail coming out. So yeah, I guess that's what I'm gonna get. I may mark this so that I know where the balanced spot is for next time, and there you go. So that's it. Not going to get into the whole operation of the different mounts and whatnot, but you can defork a Mead ETX, get yourself a dovetail. It will mount on. I didn't have to modify the scope at all. Your dovetail had to modify it, mounted it on there, and then most other mounts, that's what this electronic drive device is called, most other mounts will accommodate that. I think it's a 70-degree dovetail. Vixen dovetail is what they're called. That's the style. Alright, so that's all I got for you this time on DAS Lab. Maybe some other videos on how this whole thing works together at some point in time, but for now, have fun, be safe, and for God's sakes, don't get any on ya.